Just feel what it feels like. If something is not true, how will it feel? So after pulling in this 000, the source code, just feel what it feels like. If something is not true, and expand it out, the truth serum. You are now truth. Truth disintegrates when something that is untrue is pulled into it. Unless, of course, you know your truth, and that untrue thing may just go fly away. So you could say, I'm a healer. Pull that, imagine pulling that energy into your heart. And it's like truth goes, yay, expands. You can ask questions about your path. You can ask questions about people. It really works well with like books, teachings, and with friendships, relationships, things of that sort, because it actually heals the relationship. It doesn't just answer a question. So if it's like, oh, should I be working with so-and-so? Before, that would control the person by asking these questions, because your intention is obviously like, oh, I want to work with them, or I don't want to, or whatever. But by doing it this way, from this state of truth, where you actually sat and breathed and expanded into yourself, if you're supposed to work with that person, and there's any aspects of you that are blocking you because you don't want to be hurt, maybe a old partner in love or in business burned you, if you meet the person you're supposed to be partnering with, you may despise them and hate them and not want to have anything to do with them, because your ego knows and is afraid that this may be the real thing, and it doesn't want to be hurt. So it'll come across as false intuition. By getting into your heart and expanding into your truth,
each of us is a holographic duplicate or creation of that which is the light of all creation. In the dissension into physical reality, there are many different forms that a God consciousness will take. And in many ways, there are, in fact, 96 creations of each creation in that which you are. By saying zero, what you are doing is bringing yourself into the original creation from source that you are, regardless of how many creations you have created to live in a multitude of different beings through time and space. By bringing your awareness to this, you may see where you are viewing life from. If you are angry, you may say zero. Where is your awareness being brought to? If it is being brought down to the root chakra, you are probably angry.
you are not.
Whatever it is that you are viewing is threatening your home, your food, your family, your nationality, your race, your religion, any of these things, your corporation, your business, all of these things that are group consciousness. If you are angry and you say zero and focus on you're angry, your awareness is, and you're brought to the solar plexus, this would be somebody threatening you as an I. For the I am exists here. Not the I am that I am, but the I am in that I am human. I am ego. I am Marissa, or I am Marilyn, or I am Marla. And this is not a bad thing, for ego is not bad. It is what it is. The God consciousness lives within a human, and the God consciousness has no opinion, has no information. All it is awareness, perceiving without judgment, recording and documenting everything that it is doing. But it has no say, in essence, over what is to happen. the heart. Taking a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, you'll begin to feel as if a portal of light opens up behind you. This portal of light has a vacuum effect. For there is a void that exists around all humanity, around all humans, around all beings. This void.
Can I tune you guys right now? Because some of you turn backwards.
Perceive the reality that is around
I'm going to
for
tune
each
you out.
of you. If you were to look from the eye out and see that you are in an empty space, you are just perceiving what you want to perceive and what all of your energetic systems are prompting you to see, receive, and perceive. So allowing yourself to enter into the void that is the next highest consciousness from where you're existing is something that will be quite freeing indeed. So enter into the heart and allow this energy to pull you backwards. You'll be pulled still into the physical body. You'll feel right before you leave from the back of your heart, you will almost feel a pop. This pop will take you into forgiveness, compassion. This will be you in the Christed state. The Christed state is the mini I am that is created, the one that is already done, the one that is already finished, the ascended you. This Christ you knows what you need to do. The Christ you can protect you from all darkness. For if you are to imagine that you are in this you, behind you, but still in you, you may imagine that you look down at your hands. They may be light, they may be hands. But ask to perceive the reality in which you live in. Do you see it as a box? Do you see it as a house? Do you see it as a ball? Do you see it as a map? How do you see this? How do you perceive the reality that human beings live in from a third dimensional reality in the first three chakras? Look from this higher state of consciousness.
Just say, show me from my heart or from this space.
If you're
I
unable
pulled you
to
guys all
connect
into it.
with this or feel connected, many
I'm gonna
times
say,
what
show
you
me
do is
life.
ask that your ascension to appear.
Go to the
This is
meditation.
what this channel refers to.
Denny's don't have to come into your middle. So there's a few of you that haven't gotten into your heart, so I'm just going to pull you guys into it. Shelly, yes, you're in it. Some of you guys are in the heart within your mind, which is fine. It's better than no heart at all. And that's including me. So if you take a deep breath, like in through your nose, and imagine the air coming in through your nose, like with like golden dust going in through your nose and down straight into your heart. And then as you breathe out, just imagine the air going out the center of your chest, like just blowing out like smoke or like anything that like is just like no good. It's just like leaving. And as you guys do that, I'm going to use source code. It's 000. So source code 000, and that's going to go right in front of you like an orb or like a plane of energy. And the next time you breathe in, just breathe in through your nose and imagine that there's like mist coming off of that. And as that goes into you, it's like pristinely clean. It's Christ. 333 or 000 is Christ. It's Christ consciousness, it's forgiveness, and it's pure. And so as you're breathing that in, it's going to clean out your entire system, your lungs, the center of your heart. It's going to clean out your organs. It's going to clean out, there we go. Clean out your body. You don't know how it's doing it, and that's the good thing about it, because that's the cool thing about source codes. It's doing more, and it's allowing us to just move the F out of the way, basically, because we try to get too involved. And then we block it by trying to read it. There we go. Yay, everyone's in it. Okay, so breathing in through the nose. And as you breathe out of your mouth, I want you to actually imagine like bubbles coming out. They're like little soap bubbles. You know, like when kids blow bubbles, like a little bubble floats away. And what that's releasing is that's releasing your cloned consciousness. So it's your reflected consciousness. It's like you going like, oh, I'm such a bitch, or oh, I'm such a this. When you say that, you create a you that's that in another reality somewhere. And that you thinks it's really you. And it's inside of you. So as you're breathing in Christ consciousness and breathing out all of these false yous, or say you try to get real tough when with your like husband. My husband calls me Spike. He goes, okay, Spike, because I'll say, well, I don't care. I don't care if you go or not. I mean, I really don't care at all. But that'd be cool if you could go. And he goes, okay, Spike, because I don't want to be hurt, because I've been hurt so much by men before that I don't want to be vulnerable and have him hurt me. So I get tough guy. And so we all have our protective selves. So let's just ask that the source codes clear out all of our protective selves and allow us to, oh dog, allow us to be, allow us to be vulnerable, allow us to be in a state of receiving, and allow us to be in a state of what the guides are calling the seventh heaven, of the seventh plane of consciousness. You're saying we are going to use all different words today so nobody can crunch it with their mind, so nobody can take notes, because this is a feeling weekend, this is a knowing weekend, and this is all about getting each individual into the perfect state of alignment with themselves. So as you breathe those out, what we'd like for you to do is to ask, as you take a deep breath into your nose, the most vile aspect of you that you've created, you're going to blow that out of your mouth, and it's going to be right in front of you, just looking straight at you, like, what do you want? I want you to ask that piece of you what it wants. Like what is it that you want? What is it that you need in order for you to stop running my life? Because this aspect of us that we're seeing, mine's like a 15-year-old that's like, I don't care. It's usually the piece of us that just stopped caring and kind of went completely the other way. When you hear it's a super, super slutty version, I can't tell you it is. It's just like, just ask that piece of you what it needs. And then there's a source code. I used to call it blank formula because I just wanted to like be neutral. But the source code is 0 and then whatever emotion it needs. So you can say source code 0, love, or source code 0, attention, or source code 0, whatever it is that it's wanting. What I want you to do is just imagine that you in a snow globe or in that bubble just being showered with whatever it is that they needed. And bring an awareness to where in your body that you was. Because I can guarantee that you either have like a swollen leg or mine just came out of my fibroid. So you're going to have a part of your body that probably suffers due to this, even if it's just a tight neck. And then ask what its main emotion was. So say it was angry. It'll say 0, and then you use the word anti-anger. And an exact opposite to what it was will come in and neutralize that piece of you, and it'll just completely disappear. You've given it what it wants. You've neutralized the charge on its emotion. Now you can do this with the love. You can ask to breathe in the Christ consciousness, the 000. I just imagine it as mist coming off of a ball that says 000. I've made up in my head, and it's different colors all the time. But as I breathe that in, I'm just going to say, I'm going to breathe out Jeff from within me. Doesn't mean that I've swallowed Jeff or like taken over his energy. This is my reflection or projection of him, and I'm going to breathe out the piece of him in me that's causing issues that my consciousness feels, that my Christ consciousness believes needs to come out. So I'm not using my mind, I'm just trusting that the Christ consciousness knows. This isn't Jesus consciousness, it's just Christ consciousness. There we go, perfect. Someone was like, Jesus consciousness. Yeah, no. There we go, perfect. Okay. So breathe out the aspect of your spouse, or say, so you're not married, so your mom, or like someone that you live with, somebody that just you butt heads with. Breathe that out and just imagine them just kind of floating in a bubble in front of you. Ask them what it is that they want. Source code 0, love, or whatever it is they need. You give that to them. And then once they're in a state of having gotten what they wanted, then they honestly answer back to you how they were feeling. So what was the root emotion that caused you to be like this?
Oh, fear.
So 0, anti-fear. There we go. And it neutralizes them. You can do this with your house. You can do this with your kids. So I'll give you guys a little bit of time. I'm trying to turn on some music. Turn a little bit of music on, and I'm going to have you guys we'll go through like husband or spouse or kids or friends. Because remember, this is not really them. This is your perceived version of them. This is who you believe them to be, which is not the real them at all. So you know when you know somebody and then all of a sudden you're like, you're not the person I thought you were. Good or bad. There's so many times Jeff surprises me, like today with the food, I was like, what? Because my perception of him is a combination between him and all my exes. Because we're all afraid. And the pride that we carry is merely a band-aid for the hurt that has been inflicted upon us. Whether someone meant to hurt us or not doesn't take away from the fact that they did. And we're going to be prepared next time. Bringing clarity to each individual's crown chakra. While you guys do that, you can call forward your kiddo, just say calling forward. I'm just going to say, calling forward Matthew. Christ consciousness knows that I don't have to sit here and be like, calling forth the aspect of him that has to be the most. No, I just feel like 000, breathe it in, Matthew. Okay. He's got a knife in his hand with spikes around his neck. And I'd say 0, that brings the source code in, and then the feeling that they wanted, and then say what was the root of the emotion, and then 0, anti whatever. I'm going to activate your DNA, so if you feel me in your occiput, don't freak out. On the top of your head. Or at the bottom of your feet. Don't forget mother-in-laws. Having compassion and seeing the root of the reason why people do what they do, at least your perception of it, it brings compassion into your heart. Not to make you feel bad, but just to allow you to see past many of the things that you used to not see past. Calling forth the true, real versions of us. The original true, as this channel calls the real self, you is you. What you realize is that where you just were was inside of you. And many times we get trapped inside of ourselves. And we see people and we judge people. We think they're a certain way, they maybe remind us of another person, or they may just be annoying. But then we get to know them and we go, oh, you're nothing like what I thought you were. It's because we've created that within us. It's flowing through the songs. So I just activated the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rung of your spiritual DNA, which means that you guys are activated. What is this music doing? Gotta love it. I'm doing one Little Mermaid. So what you can do, it's a fast and easy way to get rid of anxiety or get rid of feeling crappy, is you can call in the 000 Christ consciousness, and you can breathe that in through your nose. Allow that to create the pathway into your heart. That was coming from Gemma and be like, dude, it came on. Oh gosh, this is too bad. I'm just going to stop going ahead and just turn music off. So one way that you can just allow the Christ consciousness within you to lead you into that space, like Shelley said earlier, how do we know if we're in our heart or not? You just trust. So you breathe in through your nose, allow that trail to go down into the center of your chest, and then just trust that you're there. And then as you breathe out, you can just say, I'm breathing out whatever's irritating me, or whoever's bugging me, or whatever it is that I've created inside of me that's causing me to have a clenched up throat or a rapid heart rate, or whatever it is that you're feeling, even if you're sick, or even if, say, your kids are just being all mean to you. You're like, why are all my kids being mean to me? There's something that you've created inside of you that you think they're being mean to you, but maybe they're not. So you need to learn how to cut through what you've created within you to see what's really, really, truly outside of you. So while we're holding space, what we may do now is you as your real self, so I am your name, and I am whole and complete. What we'd like for you to do is to just imagine that there's a light inside of you. And bring your awareness to it, and as you breathe, just allow it to expand out and fill up your entire body. It may take, a couple minutes, it may take 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 30 minutes for me. It's like this ball that's in you, just placed it inside of you guys, is a truth serum. It's 163 combined with your awareness and your consciousness. So it's going to cut away all of the BS. It's going to cut away all the garbage. Fake guides, fake angels, fake deceased loved ones, false beliefs that don't serve you anymore. Remember, there's no such thing as a true belief. There's just beliefs. Some of them carry charges, some of them don't. Some of them hurt us, some of them don't. But just feel that light inside of you, and as you breathe in through your nose,